This is the Khoodeelaar television channel. This is broadcast on the internet under the banner of Baby Angel Geronimo Manifesto Editions, Baby Angel Skoji kitten, and her family of kittens from 1978 to today, Saturday, the 22nd of November 2024. Now, this edition is being broadcast in the evening of Saturday, the 22nd of November 2024, and we are looking at two items in the domestic British scene. One is the various comments about the passing of John Prescott. Now, Prescott was the Deputy Prime Minister to Tony Blair for the entire period of Blair's post incumbent as Prime Minister from 1997 until he resigned to pave way for the next one, who was Gordon Brown, who was in post for 3 years. Now, one of the things that the Daily Mail's Quentin Letts says in the Daily Mail today about Prescott is that Prescott once called him a fascist, or the personification of the fascist Daily Mail. And then Quentin Letts, of course, says that he never was a fascist. But there is no real substance apart from that about the role that John Prescott played in perpetuating the regime fronted by the criminal against humanity, Tony Blair. When I say criminal against humanity, I refer, of course, to the role that Tony Blair played in the wars against the innocent people of Afghanistan and the people of Iraq and other places in the Muslim Middle East. Prescott never went on the record, as far as I can recall at this moment, in opposing any policy that Blair pursued. And in the context of the East London Borough of Tower Hamlets, and in relation to the creation, the aggravation of the housing crisis, John Prescott, who was also Secretary of State for the Department for Environment, used or abused his position in coercing the Labour Party controlled Tower Hamlets Council in the first decade of this century, in coercing the council to handing over literally thousands of council housing stock to a gang of criminals called Muhammad Haque. And the Daily Mail piece by Quentin Letts also refers to John Prescott's subliteracy. And I'll see if I can get that particular piece in front of me. his piece is headed for sketch writers. Prescott was Everest, our woolly-fisted yeti, irresistible, irresistibly abominable. Now he quotes Prescott as saying, "We will eliminate the homeless by 2008." This obviously is an example which I cannot check because I'm only looking at the print and I haven't got access to the libraries. And I cannot cross check what he's saying. The previous paragraph that Quentin Letts writes, introducing that alleged quote, "We will eliminate the homeless by 2008." For parliamentary sketch writers, John Prescott was our Everest, our woolly-fisted yeti, irresistibly abominable. Hansard stenographers would gaze at his raw barbiage and somehow have to assemble credible sentences, like British Museum restorers, glowing shards of Grecian urn dropped by Brian from the Minoan depository. Now, what Quentin Letts is saying is that many of the notes of speeches in Parliament that stenographers or note takers, verbatim note takers made, many of the notes had to be properly edited in order to create sentences that were coherent and grammatically correct. Now, this is something that I'm noticing for the first time being made a note of by somebody like Quentin Letts, who is a sketch writer. My contact with Prescott was during the period of the Labour Party in the last years of Callaghan and also the first years of the Thatcher years. My contacts with Prescott and also Neil Kinnock were similar. Both of them, both Prescott and Neil Kinnock, were open to criticism that they were dishonest. And both of them identically replied to me in a hostile manner, not engaging with the contents of what I was actually drawing their attention to, contents of their behavior, their utterances. So the damage that John Prescott did to the housing rights of people in Tower Hamlets, of course, is quite well documented, but it hasn't been acted on by any political organization. Apart from me, there is nobody that has actually raised the issues, neither in the Labour Party nor in the so-called other parties. So I shall be having quite a few volumes or editions of contextual diagnostic updates on the damage that Prescott did to the housing rights of the people, the housing needs of the people, both in Tower Hamlets and elsewhere in Greater London and in other parts of England. The other item is about the criminal behavior by the daughter of what is called Captain Tom. Now, Captain Tom was kind of elevated to a post of a semi saint during the COVID crisis when he did work in his home and raising money for charity. Now, his daughter, Hannah, and her husband, Colin Ingram Moore, allegedly earned £1.5 million from deals involving the pandemic hero who raised millions for the NHS. And there is a piece, this one is by Andrew Levy, Pressure on Captain Tom's Family to hand over 1.5 billion book deal cash. And there is a piece by John Moore on page 29. Let's see what John Moore has to say about that one. The John Moore's piece is on page 29 is headed, "Thank goodness sweet Captain Tom didn't live to see his grasping daughter besmirch his legacy." So she says, "So now we know the truth and the utterly grotty depth of the scandal. A Charity Commission report has found that Captain Tom's daughter and son in law displayed a pattern of behavior in which they repeatedly benefited personally from the Captain Tom Foundation. Hannah Ingram Moore and her husband Colin pocketed over £1.5 million from the charitable company they set up in 2020. As a result of their greedy sense of entitlement, the various businesses involved and the kindly people who generously donated to the cause could, said the Charity Commission report, understandably be misled. Misled is a question mark. That's putting it mildly. They were duped, fleeced, conned, as cheated, too strong a word. Is cheated too strong a word? I don't think so. Surely, now there is no way the couple can claim it was all a mistake or that they were simply overwhelmed by the task before them. And doesn't their behavior merit further investigation by the police? And John Moore also, of course, is a supporter of Donald Trump, as she has a go at the American actress Eva Longoria and the television presenter Ellen DeGeneres. Now, there is another piece in the Daily Mail on the page 33. It's a piece headed "After I was assaulted as a child by my friend's father, I kept my terrible secret for 12 years. Yet when I told my parents, they admitted they knew, but the police told them to say nothing." This is the state of Britain, and in the context of the revelations about hundreds of women being raped, sexually assaulted by Muhammad Haque, when he was owner of the Harrods department store. Haque is, of course, dead now, but this is a tip of the iceberg. When a so-called serving policeman, when cousins, kidnapped and held prisoner Sarah Everard before he raped her, he murdered her, and he burned her body. That is something that is not being commented on anymore. That shows that there is no real safety for victims of crimes like rapes in the United Kingdom. And this woman saying that the police told her parents not to say anything, that sums it up. We shall be talking more about all of these issues and others in due course. This is coming to an end at 18 minutes at 1956 GMT on Saturday the 22nd of November 2024.